How did you start in the music business?
I started singing in the choir and in my school. I started in the church choir and my school choir.
Would it
started playing guitar when I was 11.
Yeah. Would it have been church then, or school, or
both,
parents
both
that were the influence?
Well, my father always sang. He had a ukulele, so my dad always sang. So I followed my father really. He was a singer. He used to go in the pubs and sing, and he was great fun. So I got off my dad, I think, because as long as I can remember, I've sung badly.
What type of music then would you have been listening to? Would it have been the jazz?
No, the early days was skiffle.
Skiffle.
Lonnie, Uncle Lonnie Donegan, God bless him, was a great friend of mine. Lonnie was my inspiration as a kid.
We had Lonnie on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Did you?
And he did actually offer and mention that.
He's a great friend of mine. And from Lonnie we changed to rock and roll, Fats Domino, Ray Charles and people like that, Chuck Berry, Jerry Lewis. But Lonnie was my inspiration as a kid. And it's nice that he's a very, very good friend of mine now, still. And he still wants money off me for playing on his record.
Did you actually start then yourself playing skiffle?
Yes.
Or you started playing skiffle?
Sure.
What type of numbers did you
My
play?
old man's a man, he wears it all, everything. Rock Island Line, everything.
Oh, yeah.
All the Lonnies I played, all the, and a fella called Johnny Duncan of the Bluegrass.
Bluegrass Boys, yeah.
And Chris McDevitt, I think.
Chas
McDevitt, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
People like the Vipers.
That's right, yeah. But Lonnie was my idol, God bless him, and he's still idol.
I don't know if you had a chance to read a new book called Epstein by Ray Coleman.
Yes.
Have you read it?
Yes.
What's your views about it? Because we reviewed it on the show.
Very good, actually.
Did you help Ray with putting it
Yes,
together?
Ray came to my home and we spent a few days together. It's a very constructive book, actually.
It shows Epstein. It's not totally different from what most people imagine what managers are like.
Sure.
I mean, you must have known it probably.
Brian was a friend, actually. That was the nice thing about Brian. More so than a manager. So, you know, the book, yes, I enjoy the book by Ray. I think he's done a great job.
What was it like, though, when you talked about your career when you were just a lad? I mean, what kind of advice would he give you?
He said, smoke filter cigarettes, get off those woodbines, wear a suit on stage, don't wear a vest and a pair of jeans, and don't talk like that, like the Stokes. So he helped us a great deal, actually, Brian. Lovely man, great charisma, wonderful guy.
Do you think that if Epstein had not been the manager of the Beatles and so on, that the Beatles and the other Liverpool groups would have made it?
The Beatles would have made it. John and Paul would have made it. I recognise that when I was playing with the lads when they were 13. They would have made it because they had a great talent. So there's no doubt they would have made it. Brian just made it happen a lot quicker for the Beatles, and they opened the door for us. And without the boys, I think we would have taken a lot longer. And without Brian, the Beatles would have taken longer.
Do you think all the other groups would have followed on then from the Beatles, or was it because of
I think so.
Brian
had this great charisma, and he sort of started everything off. He brought the Beatles to the fore, which was great. And as I said, he opened the doors for us. So, I mean, without Brian, the Beatles would have taken a bit longer. I don't know about the band, but John and Paul would have definitely made a lot of money in music. They were very talented as kids.
Possibly even then, without Brian, Pete Best may have still been with them for a while, or
sure, and
Ringo might.
But I mean, George might have been there, Pete might have been there, but I'm just saying John and Paul had great talent. They would have made it somehow. You know, I'm not saying the Beatles are the Beatles, but John and Paul had tremendous talent.
Do you have much problem getting like an audience for them? Because let's be right, I mean, Gerry and the Pacemakers were a hot act throughout the Western world, and in North America, all over the place. Never mind the Beatles, still a blind. I mean, it was. I mean, like Colonel Tom Parker just had Elvis, and he had some really hot acts.
Sure.
Did you ever feel that you won't get a fair shake of the dice?
Yes, we did. We thought, Brian is devoting more time to the Beatles, and he came and he said to me, Gerry, I'm devoting a lot of time to the boys. Would you like to go with the London management? They were actually asked to buy us, and I said, no, I want to stay with you. You know, it doesn't matter. I don't mind at all. So we stayed. Brian gave us a chance to move, but we stayed knowing that Brian was foremost of the Beatles, and so they should have been. You know, they had a lot more talent than we did.
Can I take you back, Gerry, to your early recording sessions? You're rather unique, and I think having 3 records went to
number one.
Number one.
Yeah.
Besides those tracks, is there anything else that you recorded at the very start which possibly has never been released?
I don't know. You'd have to ask EMI really, because most of the records we did were put out on compilation LPs later on. So I don't really know, truthfully. I don't know.
So you don't know if there would be anything left in the vault?
There could be something in the vault.
Yeah.
What did you our first sound engineer.
What did you cut on your first sessions then?
Our first session. How Do You Do
How Do
It?
You Do It?
And Away From You, which was the B-side.
The Beatles, of course, did How Do You Do It for their
Yes.
demo, and they turned it down, didn't they?
Yes, so did Adam Faith. It was for Adam originally.
Really?
Yeah, and he didn't like it. The Beats wanted to do their own thing, and Brian offered me How Do You Do It? And I said, great! Anything to get on the record. So, you know, it was a great bonus for me then.
How difficult was it to get a recording contract in Liverpool in the early 60s?
We couldn't get them in Liverpool. Brian had to go to London and sort them out. Decca turned down the Beatles, and EMI took them, George Martin.
According to the book, it also
EMI turned them down first.
Turned them down first. That was one of the revelations of the book we found.
Well, okay,
Which was amazing, because it was always been led to believe it was the other way around.
yes.
You know, so that was a bit of a shock to us from there, because it's never come out
It
before.
shocked to me, that.
Yeah.
You shocked me to the core.
But
Shocked me to the Q-tip.
But in Liverpool around about the early 60s, 61, 62, that era, there was, by my record, because I was here, about 300 bands that everywhere was playing, every pub,
That's
everywhere there was anywhere in the room that you could get a license was a band in. And it was rather like being, I would imagine, like being in New Orleans when jazz happened.
Or Memphis.
Or Memphis,
Yeah.
But no one seemed to know outside the area.
Now the thing was, there were lots of bands in Liverpool because they had hundreds of clubs to work. The Cavern got the name because that's where Brian saw the Beatles and ourselves. But there was loads of places to work and loads of bands having great times and good fun. We never envisaged making a record. Brian said, okay, we'll make a record. He said, oh, come on. And he went down with the Beats and he got a record. And then he said, yeah, we can do one, and we did one. And it was a great change and a nice surprise, really.
How many takes did it?
How'd you do it? About 3.
About 3.
Straight in and on and down. Yeah.
What was the demo you were sent to?
It was the Beats. It was the Beatles. I still have it in my house. And the boys singing. Great. John Lennon.
That is a real collection.
John Lennon, God bless him, in the middle eight, did a lovely Buddy Holly bit. You give me a feeling in my heart, ooh la la, like an arrow passing through it. I suppose that you think you're very smart, but won't you tell me how do you do it? Lovely, great.
Because it wasn't like that originally then. That was his interpretation.
Sure, yeah. He was taking the mickey because he didn't want to do it. And it's a great, I'll say I've got the record at home. It's about 3 and 6 now.
Am I right in thinking then that, from what you said earlier, that the Beatles didn't want to do it, then Adam didn't want to do it?
Adam's for the Beats. Mitch Muddy actually wrote it for Adam Faith. Well, he told me that.
Yeah.
Mitch told me that. I don't know, he could have been fibbing. But he wrote it for Adam.
About that.
So really, it was the third time lucky, wasn't it?
So I think that's why John was doing the Buddy Holly Adam Faith. Because Adam used to sing with him. You know, Adam said, well, he tried to sing, God bless him. But that was the story.
Recently, in fact, I think this recent last couple of weeks or so, the compact discs, Super Miles have issued all your EPs on albums. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, well, Super Miles have issued all the extended plays on compact discs. And I gather it's all from the original masters.
It should sound terrible.
Those EPs are very much sort of the all that extended plays. And also, they did one. You did one in America, as I recall, where you sang everything like twice the speed as you would normally.
It was a live show, I think, at Long Beach, California. And we rehearsed 2 days with the sound technicians to record it. When we got on stage with 30,000 kids, everything speeded up because we were so excited. And when we came off 2 days later, they played us the tape, and I said, I'm like Mickey Mouse. Away From You, which was a romantic sort of, when I'm away from you, sort of, when I'm away from you, rock and roll. I mean, and we did Dizzy Miss Lizzie at the speed of sound. It was terrible. So instead of the LP, we just put out an EP. We could only get 4 songs off the whole LP. That was quite decent. That was Dizzy Miss Lizzie, Away From You, I think. How Do You Do It, and something else. I mean, we were all shocked with the fans.
Apart from that live recording, did you do much recording in the States?
Yes, we did actually. We did lots of recordings which haven't been out.
Yeah, such as?
I don't know, because they haven't been out. Only if we record them.
Any members of the sessions? Anybody in all the sessions that we'd like to know?
No, not really. We just went into the studio. I think it was. I'm trying to think of the Laurie Records.
Oh,
Yeah.
And we went in and did it. Just a band.
Was that New York then?
Yes, we just went in and put them down. Lots of different songs we'd written.
Yeah.
So they might be in an archive.
So I mean, did you get copies of masters of them yourself?
No, not in those days. You didn't bother. Not too much hassle.
What were the basic differences that you may have found between recording in England? Because we've been told a lot about, you went in, you did the song, if you made a mistake, tough, you started at the beginning went up. What was it like in the States? Was it the same, or did you find it much more advanced than over here?
Same.
Was it the same?
It's the same in the States, sure.
Yeah. So that was basically 4
In fact,
tracks.
the stage, I found the States were a bit behind the section recording. They were very basic, really basic studios.
Yeah.
But it was fun. We were only kids. We didn't know. We just went and did it. You know, the same as the Beats did. You know, the Beatles did lots in the States that they wish they could bury. It was fun. We didn't care. We didn't want to be stars.
Have you heard the recordings, Gerry? Which is the one that you like the most? I'd like to play something now.
I've got three actually. Ferry Cross the Mersey, Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying, and Walk Alone. They're my three favourites actually. So take your pick out of them.
The album Ferry Cross the Mersey, of course, is a very collectible album. Any memories of the filming of that?
Yeah, that was great fun. We spent a month doing the film. They had a budget of 35 quid. And we had a great time. We were on the ferry for a week. It was just good fun. Again, that was only a video to show in the States and Canada and Australia and so on. So that was basically an extended video. We had good fun. It was nice.
Any memories of the horrors of touring in that period of time?
You always forget the hard bits. You only remember the good times. I mean, we toured 35 states in 37 days, and that was a lot of work. But
did Brian organise that?
Sure.
Did he, I mean, this is a leading question, but did he understand the size of America? I mean,
no, we didn't. Nor did Brian. We did Australia. We did 30 shows in Australia in 32 days. I mean, Australia is humongous. And we just flew every day. I mean, we didn't know where we were. I never met Australians or Americans or Canadians. Because we would arrive, do the press conference, do a television, go to the hotel, do the show. Next morning back on the plane. So I didn't meet anybody. So it was hard work, but you forget them. It was just good fun. We enjoyed it.
So you can't really talk much about the countries that you went to because it was hotels, transport, hotels.
I've only found out in the last 10 years when I formed my own company and we toured them again on my own, where we do weeks in each city. We do 3 shows and stay 4 days up, so then we can actually meet people. And this has been occurring for 10 years, and it's much better, much easier.
And you've, of course, you've still kept a lot of contact from Merseyside.
Sure. Yes, I live outside Merseyside.
Yeah.
I live outside Chester. I love Liverpool. I love the Liverpool people. They're great people. They're a great heart, and they're great fun to be around.
Yeah.
So,
do you have any kind of personal opinions on, I suppose, constantly being asked about the memories of the 60s? All over the country, I'm thinking you have Beatle conventions in Liverpool and Birmingham and London and things like that. What's your opinions on all this nostalgia when it's so recent?
It's
really
nice people are interested, and that's the main thing. Yeah. It's nice that you remember the records, and we should have the patience to talk about them. I mean, the people who bought them made us rich or made us successful, whatever you want to call it. It's part of our life and it's our heritage, and it's great to talk about it. It's great to have the memories that we still enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just good fun. It really is, and I don't mind talking about it.
Are you surprised the fact it's lasted so long? I mean,
we thought 5 years in the business we'd be finished, and there we are, 28 years later, still rocking on and enjoying it. So it's been a great surprise.
Is there any other recordings that anything that I'd like to play one of your EPs? Anything of any of your EPs you'd like to do?
Dizzy Miss Lizzie for a laugh.
Okay. Gerry, on behalf of Chris and myself.
Thank you very much.
And all collectors.
Nice seeing you both again, lads. Look after yourselves. And I've got to get dressed because I'm on stage in about 5 minutes' time.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Gerry.